Oak Island is an island of what-ifs and possibilities. But I want more than that.
Today we're going to find a diamond in the rough.
It could be very meaningful. We need to explore it.
It's been fantastic.
So let's go dig it up.
Everyone is obsessed with the idea of pirate gold. We want to see the chest, the coins, and the jewels. And for the first time in years, rumors are swirling that the Oak Island team found exactly that, a massive hoard allegedly worth millions. But while everyone is distracted by the glitter of gold, a much bigger discovery slipped under the radar. The team unearthed an object that dates back 2,000 years. This is not just about getting rich. This is about rewriting the history books forever. The truth about the gold bars. This is the moment everyone has been waiting for since the first shovel hit the dirt on Oak Island back in 1795. For over 2 centuries, this tiny island off the coast of Nova Scotia has held its secrets tight. It has teased us with coconut fiber, stone tablets, and trace amounts of gold in the water. But recently, something shifted. The internet went into a total meltdown. Between August and October of 2025, a wave of videos and posts flooded social media. And that is putting it lightly. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of views on videos claiming the ultimate victory. The headline was simple and earth-shattering. The History Channel confirms the Oak Island treasure has been found. The details were incredibly specific. These reports claim that during the filming of late Season 12 and the start of Season 13, the team excavated a massive hoard. We are not talking about a few loose coins here. The rumors described gold bars, piles of silver coins, and ancient jewelry. The estimated value attached to this find was a staggering $200 million. For fans of the show, this was the validation we all needed.
I believe that the map represents some features on the island.
It felt like the payoff for years of watching drills get stuck and holes getting flooded. Social media platforms were lit up with posts celebrating the find. Users were sharing links and shouting from the digital rooftops that the curse was broken. But here is the catch. When you look closer at where these rumors are coming from, things get a little murky. Most of this hype was driven by viral content creators speculating on the silence from the production team. The logic was that the sudden secrecy meant they found something too big to leak. But the History Channel has been very careful. They have not released an official press release confirming a monetary hoard of that size. However, that does not mean the rumors are completely baseless. They are often sparked by small, real leaks that get blown out of proportion. For starters, we know that heavy excavation was happening. We know the swamp was a major focus, and we know that the team was incredibly excited about the artifacts they were pulling up. But the leap from exciting artifacts to $200 million in gold is a massive one. It is easy to get swept up in the gold fever. We all want it to be true. We want to see Rick and Marty high-fiving over a stack of gold bricks. But the reality of what is happening on the island is actually far more complex and honestly more interesting than just a pile of cash. The viral claims are focusing on the monetary value, but they are missing the bigger picture. The show has always been about the mystery, not just the money. If they had found $200 million in gold, the Canadian government would likely have stepped in immediately. There would be legal battles, permits, and a media circus that the History Channel could not control. The fact that we have not seen a government press conference is a major clue. So, here is the deal. The massive gold hoard might be an exaggeration by hopeful fans and clickbait channels, but that does not mean the team went home empty-handed. In fact, what they found might be worth more than gold to the right people. It is evidence that proves something impossible actually happened on that island. The real treasure might not be something you can spend. The artifact that shocked the team. While the internet was busy screaming about gold bars, the real breakthrough happened quietly in the lab. In Season 13, specifically around Episode 3, the team made a discovery that hands down beats a generic pirate chest. They found a coin. Now I know what you are thinking. They have found coins before. But this one is different. This was not a British penny or a Spanish piece of 8 from the 1700s. This was a coin that had no business being in Nova Scotia. Initial analysis suggests it is a Roman coin, dating back to somewhere between 400 and 550 AD. Let that sink in for a second. That is nearly 2,000 years ago. If this is confirmed, it completely shatters the timeline of North American history. We are taught that Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. We know the Vikings were in Newfoundland around the year 1000. But Romans? In Canada? That is a game changer. It suggests that transatlantic travel was happening 1,000 years before we thought it was possible. This single coin is a massive wow factor. It supports the theory that Oak Island was a banking system or a safe deposit box for ancient civilizations long before the pirates or the Templars. Dr. Ian Spooner and the rest of the experts were visibly shaken by the implications. A coin like that does not just wash up on shore. It has to be carried, and whoever carried it traveled a dangerous, impossible distance to get there. But wait, it gets better. This coin was not the only ancient artifact. The team also uncovered what appears to be a medieval timber structure. Carbon dating places the wood hundreds of years before the money pit was supposedly dug in 1795. This means someone was building complex underground structures on this island during the Middle Ages. This aligns perfectly with the Knights Templar theory. For years, fans have speculated that the Templars fled Europe with the Holy Grail, or the Ark of the Covenant, and hid it in the New World. The discovery of medieval wood and a Roman coin creates a timeline that fits. It connects the island to Europe in a way that simple pirate legends never could. The crazy part is the depth at which these things were found. They were not sitting on the surface. They were buried deep in the mud, protected by layers of clay and man-made flood tunnels. This implies a deliberate effort to hide something valuable. You do not dig 100 feet down just to drop a single coin. The coin is likely a remnant, something dropped by the original builders. And let's talk about the metal fragments. Alongside the coin and the wood, the team has been pulling up pieces of metal with chemical compositions that do not match North American mining.
It was one of our only silver hits outside of the money pit.
These fragments hint at metallurgy techniques that were used in Europe and the Middle East centuries ago. It is like finding a fingerprint left behind by a ghost. So while the $200 million gold figure is floating around online, the historical value of these items is arguably higher. A Roman coin in Canada is a priceless artifact. It forces historians to rethink everything. It validates the life's work of people like Dan Blankenship, who spent decades convinced that this island held secrets older than America itself. The History Channel might be playing up the drama, but the science is backing them up. These artifacts are hard data. They are physical proof that Oak Island was a hub of activity long before the history books say it should have been. The treasure is the truth. But what if these artifacts are just the breadcrumbs leading to the main course? Mapping the underground tunnels. To understand why they have not just pulled the main chest up yet, you have to understand the monster they are fighting. The money pit is not just a hole in the ground. It is a complex, booby-trapped engineering marvel. And in Season 13, the use of technology has finally given us a clear picture of what is down there. Dr. Ian Spooner has been the MVP of recent seasons. Using water testing and core drilling, he has mapped out the underground anomalies with incredible precision. And get this, the data shows high concentrations of silver and gold in the water deep below the surface. This is not just background noise. This is a scientific indication that a large amount of precious metal is sitting in the groundwater. The interactive map they have built now tracks over 100 minor finds across 11 different sites on the island. This is massive. It shows that the activity was not just focused on the money pit. The entire island was a construction site. There are slipways in the swamp, stone roads, and tunnel systems that connect everything. Basically, the island is like a block of Swiss cheese. It is riddled with voids and caverns. Some are natural, but many are man-made. The flood tunnels are the real killer. Every time they dig too deep, ocean water rushes in. This was a brilliant design by the original builders. They used the ocean pressure to protect the treasure. It is a hydraulic lock that has held for centuries. But modern technology is finally catching up. The team is using sonic drilling and muon tomography to see through the mud. They are finding keyholes, fasteners, and pieces of chests. These are the small clues that prove the big treasure is real. You do not find a keyhole without a chest. You do not find chest hinges without a box. The sheer volume of data they are collecting is overwhelming. They have proof of tunnels lined with coconut fiber to filter the water. Coconut fiber that had to be imported from thousands of miles away. In the 1700s, that kind of logistics operation would be like shipping material to the moon today. It required massive resources and manpower. This contradicts the idea that a solitary pirate like Captain Kidd buried it. Pirates were hit and run. They did not have the time or the engineering degree to build hydraulic flood traps. This was a military or government-level operation. The data supports the theory of a massive group like the Templars or the French military moving a national treasure. Dr. Spooner's research suggests that the treasure might not be in a single box. It might be scattered. The massive hoard rumored online might be accurate in total volume, but spread out across different chambers.
It's a thing not found elsewhere on Nova Scotia, on Oak Island.
The seismic data shows multiple targets. This explains why they keep finding bits and pieces. They are hitting the outer edges of the deposit. The water chemistry data is the smoking gun. You cannot fake gold signatures in the water. It is there. The problem is getting to it without bringing the whole island down on top of you. The ground is unstable. It is a soup of mud, clay, and collapsing timber. So while the viral videos scream about a single giant discovery, the reality is a slow, methodical war against the geology of the island. They are winning, inch by inch. The finds are getting more frequent. The debris field is getting denser. But there is one question that keeps everyone up at night. Is the government involved? Let's be real for a second. Why are we so obsessed with this? Why do millions of people tune in every week to watch middle-aged men look at wood? It is because of the mystery. It is the thrill of the chase. And deep down, it is about the curse. The legend says that 7 people must pass away before the treasure is found. So far, 6 lives have been lost in the pursuit. Every accident, every equipment failure feels like the island is fighting back. It adds a layer of supernatural drama to the scientific dig. But there is also a very real human element to this story. Rick Lagina has said it 1,000 times. Truth is the treasure. At first, that sounded like a nice slogan to cover up the lack of gold. But as the seasons go on, you realize he means it. Finding a Roman coin or a medieval cross is, in many ways, more valuable than a gold bar. A gold bar buys you a nice house. A Roman coin proves that history is wrong. Rick looks for the story. He wants to know who was there, why they were there, and what they were hiding. The monetary value is secondary. This is important because it manages our expectations. If the massive hoard from the rumors turns out to be documents, manuscripts, or religious artifacts, the internet might be disappointed, but Rick will be ecstatic. There is also the skepticism to consider. A lot of people think the History Channel is stringing us along. They say the finds are planted or exaggerated to keep the ratings up. They point out that they have been digging for over a decade with millions of dollars in equipment, and the best they have is a few coins. It is a valid criticism. But then you look at the sheer scale of the operation. You do not spend tens of millions of dollars just to fake a TV show. The passion in the war room is real. The frustration when the caisson hits a rock is real. And the involvement of serious scientists adds credibility. These are academics putting their reputations on the line. They would not be there if they thought it was a scam. There is also the looming shadow of the Canadian government. In Nova Scotia, treasure hunting laws are strict. If they found the Ark of the Covenant, do you really think they would be allowed to show it on TV the next week? No way. It would be classified. The site would be locked down. The fact that the show is still filming suggests that whatever they found, they are allowed to talk about it. So, do you think the Roman coin is proof enough? Or are you still waiting for the gold bars? And do you believe the rumors about the $200 million hoard? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button and subscribe for more mystery updates.